Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giant football? If so, sit back and relax. Except you, that person driving. Sit up and keep your eyes on the road. Your ears, though, can still listen as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined by...
Rob. Let's talk about our cornerbacks.
Yes, our cornerbacks, not to be confused with quarterbacks, because whoever decided to name two positions so similarly together deserves a good smacking in the face. Seriously, that was a jerk, whoever decided to make that move. Absolute jerk.
5 fingers to the face. Yeah.
Way to make things complicated, you bum.
Yeah.
That's why we all say QB and CB. Q and C sounds so different. Good to go. So let's talk about some CBs, not to be confused with the killer bees.
Attack of the Killer Bees.
Oh,
the Killer Bees.
That was like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes there.
It was.
Oh, yes.
Oh, an old school.
Tomatoes. That was ridiculous movies and spectacular at the same part. Poor
and a fantastic cartoon.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Remember that Saturday morning? We had I feel like our generation had the best movies converted to animated series ever kind of thing. Like between that and the real Ghostbusters and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Wasn't there a Toxic Avenger?
The Toxic Avenger, yes, was an animated series for a little while. Yes, it was.
With a B-rated, R-rated horror movie.
Even Clerks became an animated series eventually. I mean,
yeah, but that was a Saturday morning cartoon. That was something that was a pre-Family Guy show that got canceled because it came out way too soon.
Damn that villain, Leonardo.
Leonardo.
Spectacular. It's a Jersey thing. All righty, guys. So before we get started, of course, we got to once again thank our sponsor, Manscaped. Oh, yes, Manscaped.
And all the mans.
Oh, yes. Remember, guys, again, summer is coming. And what happens with summer? Summer brings heat. Heat brings perspiration. Don't want to sweat down there? Shave down there. Helps a lot. Skin-saving technology. And the best part is, if you're like me and love to save money, because I am that way. I'm that person. I'll buy things on clearance that I don't need because I might need it eventually one day. 20% off plus free shipping, manscaped.com, using the promo code Goofballs. And that's not just on the Lawnmower 4.0. It's also on the Weed Whacker for your ear and your nose. It's for the lovely ball deodorant there because, listen, it doesn't smell nice down there. You want something better smelling. Yeah.
I would pull out the ball deodorant, but I used it earlier and it's off to the side.
Yeah, don't pull that out.
Ball deodorant.
Oh, I thought you said something else. It said something about who used it before and it's off to the side. So, all righty, guys, let's get right down into our CB talk here because we have a ton of corners on the roster right now. It's crazy. I feel like half the roster is corners. Just looking at who we have on the squad right now, it's pure insanity. And of course, no conversation about corners is not complete or even begun without discussing one man, our CB1, Adoree freaking Jackson. Obviously, his middle name is not freaking.
Oh, it is. It definitely is. He renamed.
That'd be awesome. 27 years old still, too, which is crazy. He is tied for the oldest on our list. Not a single corner is older than 27 years old on our roster. That's pretty damn impressive. 5'11", 185 pounds, a little wee man still.
For you.
But for most people, that's if you're going to play football, that's small for football. Let's call it what it is. That's small.
Down to Adoree, freaking Jackson.
That's Adoree.
When the moon swats the ball, that's Adoree.
That's Adoree. When you go to punt return and you get hit because you should have never been out there to begin with. That's
and your knee goes kaboom. That's Adoree.
Trips to the IR and the hospital. That's adore. And that's the big thing we got to talk about with him is, let's be honest, he has an annual injury every single year. He's a damn good corner. He's practically a shutdown corner in this league, based on how he played last year. But you have to plan for his annual injury. He will get injured every year for at least some games. That's just what Adoree Jackson is. So when you have a very talented player, you can accept that to a certain degree, because when he is out there, good luck replacing that.
Yeah. Like, look what he did to Jefferson.
Yeah.
When we played the Vikings. Like, he shut him down to no one receiver last year.
And look what Jefferson did the first time without him.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Let us up.
Big difference. So the big concern you only see you have with him is the fact that he's just not a ball hawk. The guy didn't have a single interception last year. But I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that whatsoever. If you're going to shut down top receivers in these leagues, I don't care. I don't care.
If your corner turns around and gets you no interceptions and no tackles, guess what? He shut down that ball. No one got the ball that was intended for them from the quarterback to the receiver, because your corner shut them down.
Exactly. And there was a huge difference in this defense when he was out compared to when he was healthy. It's a huge difference. And you cannot speak highly enough as far as how good a job he did when he was healthy last season. So I got to ask you this, because I want to hear your thoughts on this, because mine's are pretty cut and dry. Why the freaking hell have we not talked to this man about extension? What do you think, Rob?
I have no idea. They're going to extend this man. There's no doubt in my mind that
there's doubt in my mind.
I mean, because you're a negative Nancy, but
wow, my name's not Nancy. It's true. It's right there on the screen, right there.
A doubtful Drew. That's what you are.
But here's the thing: they haven't even talked to him. They haven't even talked to the guy. They said that point blank. They haven't even talked to him. You think they want to re-sign him?
They also came up point blank multiple times saying we haven't talked to Barkley.
Yeah, no, but they did talk to Barkley and offer him an extension earlier. Yeah. That's the thing. And now they have an actual contract that he needs to sign. So that's the different situation. If Adoree Jackson was franchised, then it'd be different. But they haven't even talked to this guy about an extension. This is not the same as Barkley at all. It draws a flag to me that they don't seem to want him going forward.
I think they re-sign him. I think they're trying to set everyone up, and I think something's happening behind the scenes where it's like, hey, we'll get there. Like, listen, this is what we're doing. We're going to negotiate after this. I think there's an order of how they want to resign.
As Connor points out, Nancy Drew. I gave negative Nancy Drew. But like I said, I just, to me, it's weird because you got a guy who literally is your top corner, makes a huge difference in your defense, and there's no talk about re-signing him at all when he has 1 year left in his contract, and he's still just 27 years old. So you can still rip up that contract, sign him to a new 3-year deal. You still got him out till he's 30 years old. I don't understand the issue unless they're this scared about doing a new contract with him because of the issues that he had, with the injuries and all. That's the only thing I can think of at all, is that's the issues. Is they're going, do we want to sign this guy long term when he's had trouble staying healthy?
I mean, I understand what you're saying there, but there's your playmakers that that might get hurt, but when they're on that field, they're the playmakers. Like he changed the defense, hands down, when he's on the field. So if he misses 100%. 3 games, and you might be able to win 2 of those 3 games he misses, or even 1 of those 3 games, and if that's your record through the year, like if you're going to win a third of your games because he's in there, or not there, like
here's the thing though. I trust in what you're saying because I agree the value is there. The value proposition is one that I like and I think is good. I think the bigger issue is that while you and I see it, do the Giants see it? Because if they did, I think they would have some contract talks by now. I mean, you got Barkley still up in the air, obviously. We know that one there. But Shane said he's gone stretches without talking to this guy. Daniel Jones was obviously taken care of. Dexter Lawrence is now taken care of. It's like, when does Adoree get taken care of? And don't get me wrong, he's still got a good contract for this year. I'm not saying the Giants are underpaying him or anything like that. He's getting paid what he should be paid. But you only got
that's what I'm getting at. So, as a general manager, you're going to take care of the necessities first and then work your way down. And, as a manager, like, for someone that's going to walk away because their contract's not extended yet this offseason is the person you're going to sign first and focus on before the person that has a healthy contract for this upcoming year. You can wait to extend him.
I think he is the bare necessity, the simple bare necessity.
Bare necessity.
Forget about your worries and your fears of his injuries. I mean, again, I don't know. I think you and I just simply see it a little different in this perspective. I think you're thinking that they're going to go for it in the offseason next year, whereas I'm thinking the fact that they're not.
I don't even know if it's going to be that long. It could be the bye week.
To me, if the fact that you're not looking to extend him now tells me that I don't think the Giants are really that interested in signing him long term. Maybe their plan is to simply replace him with the guy we're about to talk about.
I mean,
but
that's a good.
He'll obviously be a Giant this year, though. I think we can agree to that one, assuming no injuries. So I mean, we at least have Adoree for a year, and hopefully I'm wrong, and the Giants do want to sign him long term. But yeah, he'll definitely be in the active roster this year. That's for damn sure. As will CB2 for us, the Rook, Deontay Banks, 22 years old, 6'2", 205 pounds, the 24th pick in the 2023 NFL draft.
Number 1 Giant to the draft.
Yes. And we talked about our feelings on him here. Physical freak. The tape didn't quite match up in our eyes to what was there physically, but hopefully some good coaching can fix some of that. So I don't think much needs to be said on him. We've just talked about him pretty recently, and obviously he's going to make the roster no matter what. If he doesn't make the roster, we really effed up really bad on this one.
Yeah, if you're number 1 pick overall,
doesn't
see the field. There's something to be said about your draft.
Exactly. That makes that makes certain other corners we've drafted recently look a whole lot better because at least they made it through 1 year. DeAndre Baker. Next up, Aaron Robinson, the thorn in my side during last year's preseason. This man was getting burnt more often than toast coming out of a messed up toaster. I'm trying to think of a good analogy.
I thought this man was Joan of Arc to you. You were the French or you were the English, and he was a Joan of Arc.
Yes, I'm not sure the analogy here.
That he was a thorn in your side. That no Englishman like Joan of Arc.
Oh, is that what it was? I was unaware. I was unaware that British hated Joan of Arc. I must have slept through that history lesson.
She only brought Jesus to the French winning the 100-year war. Well, in that time frame. Anyway.
Listen, every single thing I know of Joan of Arc is based on Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, okay?
Amelia Jostovich.
ROER.
Yeah.
Is dust in the wind, dude. Be awesome to each other. Aaron Robinson, again, 25 years old, 6'1", 193 pounds, our 3rd round pick in 2021. And it was a tale of 2 seasons within a season for him. It really was. This guy was getting, like we said, burnt alive, basically. Like, it's like he's burnt so bad, you swear he got thrown into molten lava pretty much all preseason. And then all of a sudden, the regular season comes around. And I don't want to say look great, but he looked a hell of a lot better than he did in preseason. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
He looked like a serviceable corner in this league. And then he got hurt. And then he was gone.
He went bye-bye. For a long time.
I think it's safe to say that we still don't even know what we have in Aaron Robinson, really. I think that's a fair assessment going into year 3 of his rookie contract, which is kind of sad. You want to know after 1 year what you got usually. But yeah, he's an unknown commodity to a certain degree. But I do think the fact that the coaching staff was willing to start him last year tells you their thoughts on him.
Yeah.
So assuming he's healthy, I fully expect him to be on the active roster.
I mean, just like I said, in high hopes, like you want Banks to be a top flight guy.
Oh yes, you want to be on Banks.
Yeah, no, like of all our corners, like obviously we know that Dory is going to be adored. He's our number one corner. You would like to see Banks be number two. You don't think Aaron Robinson would be a fantastic number three? Or even if roles get kind of reversed there.
I'm kind of curious to see, do they put him in what is more his natural position in my eyes, which is the slot position. We talked about this a lot last year preseason, that he was more of a slot corner. Now he has a shot to go to his natural position, or even do both at that point and move in and out depending on where the roster is at. Because again, not to be negative at a guy I just talked very positively about, but you have to plot for Adoree Jackson's eventual annual injury. It is what it is. So, but again, I think he's pretty obviously going to make the active roster. I think we're going to find out a little better, hopefully, of what he is this year. But again, keep in mind, he's coming off a big injury. So you're probably not going to really see the real him until like midway through the season. So
most likely.
But hopefully what we like is more we saw in the regular season that we liked, as opposed to the preseason that we despise with an utter passion. So, Anthony, Big Blue Ant Seals, what's up, guys? What's up, Anthony, man?
What's up, Ant? How we doing, bud?
He said Julius Randle is horrible. Ooh, must be a Knick fan there. Any player that comes out publicly and says maybe they want it more is probably not a guy you want on your roster. I'll just put it that way.
No.
Probably not. They shouldn't admit that another team probably wanted it more. That's just not good.
You should have wanted more than them wanted it more.
And Connor says, Dud, you say you have to plot your address anal injury. What is you saying, Connor? Connor's been having some to drink apparently tonight.
Connor, can you have one for me?
Yeah, seriously.
I'm a bourbon kind of guy.
Share. We will have you on the show if you give us bourbon.
Yeah. Moss bourbon.
It's Moss tequila, not Moss bourbon.
Well, it depends who you are. Don't be racist.
I'm just saying that's usually what you say. Wow. Yeah. Wow. You're trying to cancel culture me here? I'm just saying that's usually what they say. Wow. All right. Next up, people. I don't know what else are you trying to insinuating. Oh yeah, here we go. Now that you're done trying to make me look bad. Connor says, oops, sorry. Did you say you have to plot for Adoree's anal injury? I said annual, not annual.
I think you're missing injury. A U. There's a U missing there.
And you're complaining about things I'm saying, Rob. Wow. All right. On that note, next up.
Hey, Cordell Flott.
Cordell Flott. Oh yes, yes. Last year's rookie out of LSU, 21 years old, soon to be 22. Will be 22 even by the time the season starts. There, 6'1", 175 pounds. A guy that I really thought when they drafted him, and I know it wasn't the only one saying who, what, why. Like we really thought it was a reach pick. And I still stand by the fact that I think it was a reach pick. But he's done better than I expected last year. So hopefully we can see some more progression. Hopefully the Giants just see something in him that most people, frankly, just didn't. And based on what he did last year, I think he'll be a serviceable depth piece for us at the very least. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need serviceable depth.
He definitely did not embarrass himself last year.
No.
He held his own ground in some tough situations.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, no. Like I like what he did overall for us, especially, be a third-round pick. You don't really have high expectations for a third-round pick. You just want to see something positive. We saw something positive. So he's on the right track for where he was.
And where, when we didn't have Wandell or Dory, they're both out, and he was stepping up, being number two. Yeah. He looked good.
And again, he's a guy that could be a slot corner. I would not be shocked at all to see him and Aaron Robinson battle it out for that starting slot corner position. I think that's where the battle is going to be pretty much in this room so far.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
Like I said, he will definitely make the roster. Not a single doubt in my mind. Next up, Rob, would you care to do the honors?
No, it's your turn. I said
Amani Aurorier. So that's the guy we picked up middle of the offseason here from the Detroit Lions, 27 years old. So tied for the oldest corner that we have in this roster here, 6'2", 202 pounds, 4-year vet with 36 starts in those 3 years. Had a huge 21. We talked about that before. 6 interceptions. With a guy that was an up-and-coming corner in this league, a potential steal in the draft for the Lions, because I think it was a 5th-round pick, if I remember right. He wasn't exactly he wasn't a top pick. I'm thinking 5. I don't have that in my notes though, so I could be wrong. But he was crap last year. Let's be very frank. Crap. He was like the worst corner in the league basically last year.
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions benched him. That's just bad when the Detroit Lions bench anyone on defense last year.
When they were, ranked 31st?
Yes. And they had needed corners desperately. This guy was getting burnt left and right. He was like Aaron Robinson in the preseason last year. That's how bad it was. Like, call it what it is, man. He looked bad. So the question is, do we get 21 version or do we get 22 version? Because if we get 21 version, he's the best ball hawk we have in this corner room. If we get 22 version,
back time.
If I can find my way. Okay.
Shut the ball.
But if he goes back to his 22 form last year, then he's a guy that you'll see back in the streets again in no time, I think. Yeah. So the big thing with him, obviously, is because he's a free agent.
Cut him out.
Oh gosh. Is that contract made out of wood? The big thing is the money, because he was a free agent signing, and if you're looking at a guy as a possible cut candidate, you got to go, okay, well, what do we pay him? What are we guaranteeing him? So if we cut him, we lost $52,000, which is pennies in the football world, and we save $1 million against the cap. So to me, he's a possible cut candidate, but because of his veteran leadership overall, because of the fact that he's been one of the older guys there, in the locker room, a guy who's had a good starting experience. And again, we talked about Adori's annual injury, Connor. Then, is a good guy to have in your roster if he's his 21 form. So I'm putting him as a big question mark. I have no clue what's going to happen with him, very honestly. And you guys know I love giving my opinion. Yeah. I have no opinion to give this guy because I have no clue what to expect.
Yeah, it all depends on what we see in camps and preseason.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all going to boil down to. We got a couple more comments. Let's go back to them real quick before we move on to the next guy here. Anthony says Saquon is a fool if he thinks he's getting more than $14 million per year, and that's a stretch. Anthony, here's the one thing I got to stress to fans in this. There's been a lot of things leaked. We have no clue who's leaking them. Is it Saquon's people? Is it Giants people? I don't know. But what I do know is nobody's mentioned how much guaranteed money he was being offered. So is it the $14 million, or were they not offering him much beyond this year in guarantee? We don't know that. So, on paper, $14 million, sign me up. Like, he should have taken that deal in a heartbeat. But if they didn't give him a lot of guaranteed, it could be, for all we know, it could have been, hey, we're going to give you $42 million over 3 years, and we're going to give you a guarantee of $16 million. Well, then, he wouldn't take that deal. I wouldn't take that deal either. So we get on all the details. So I don't want to. Listen, on paper, yes, I'm going to say he should have signed that deal. But without knowing all the details, I would say I want to know the details first. But since I don't have that option, he probably should have taken the money. But it's hard to say for sure without having all that information.
Show me the money.
Show me the money. Connor says annual anal injury. LOL.
Ooh.
Is that a
frisky
personal problem, Connor? Anthony also says, I do love Saquon, though, and I want him back, but not for more than that. Yeah, listen, like I said, all that matters really is the guaranteed money, because if we pay him top dollar, if we can get out of it, then it doesn't matter, because if he doesn't produce, he's gone. Yeah. That's all that matters. Dakota says, hey, guys, hope you're having a great day. What's up, man, Dakota?
Hey, Dakota.
Connor's answering the comments now. Hey, Dakota, we're having a great day. We don't have any Adori's annual anal injury. LOL. And then Anthony says, "True." And I think that's in response to what we're talking about just now with the contract there. Connor
or the
says,
anal injury.
No, I think probably both. Really. Connor says, "I wouldn't pay more than $12 million total. Make it $11 million with incentives for each year or more." Yeah, you're not getting him probably that cheap, Connor.
No, because I mean, look what he's getting as a franchise tag.
Yeah, and he's due for $12 million next year, as it is if we franchise him tag again. So yeah, no, we're not going to get him for that though, Connor. But I think the $14 million number is right. Again, it's all a matter about the guaranteed money. You're making that make sense for both him and the Giants.
If you turn around and you said, "Hey, you're going to get 14 every now and then," but if you say, "Hey, your salary is going to be," even say 15 mil.
Yeah.
But your guarantee is 8. You're already saving money.
With Geico.
Then franchise tag. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm gonna let the people that are arguing over it, let them argue over it and call it a day, because unless I have all the particulars, I can't have too much of opinion. So it's really hard to say without what guaranteed money, because that's all that matters in the end, guys. Alrighty, next up, Nick McLeod, the Highlander. There can be only one. Here we are. Highlander. Oh, I heard they're remaking that movie, by the way. Again, they've been on and off talks about it, but I heard again that they are.
Are they?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the Highlander? Channing Tatum?
I don't know. Oh God, please no. He'd be a horrible Highlander.
You're talking about the French guy playing a Scot. Was it a good pick?
First off, it was a Scottish. It was a Scottish man playing Egyptian living in Spain. Yes, exactly. That's what Sean Connery was.
Who was the actor that played McLeod? Wasn't he a French actor?
He was Canadian.
French Canadian?
I don't know if he was French Canadian. I thought he was Canadian.
Pretty sure that's myth behind the movie, that he's a French Canadian, a Frenchman playing a Scot, and the Scot who was playing a Spaniard that was a gypsy.
He also played what's his name in Mortal Kombat too. The guy with the
Raven.
hat,
Raven. Yeah, I said Raven.
Yes. Raven.
Yes.
No, Raven's Teen Titans. But anyway, back to actual football. We get sidetracked with our Highlander talk. Classic movie, guys. If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Just don't watch the sequels.
The sequels were horrendous, but the original one was spectacular. The TV show was not bad either. So, anyway, Connor McLeod, 24 years old, 6 foot even, 193 pounds, or is he? You say yes. Born of the Scottish Highlands back in the 1400s. No. So, he was one of those guys who picked up late in the offseason last year. And I thought he really came in and did a pretty good job for us, considering he came in late to the year. He kind of got thrown into action because of all the injuries. He's a guy that I could see as a late, bottom of the roster kind of guy. And I think that, in the end, he has a chance to make this roster. But it depends on Amani. Let's be honest here. We're not keeping both those two, because of the guys that we already have, and the rookies we have, and that kind of stuff. So I think it's going to be a battle between McLeod and Oruake, and there can be only one.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yes, I did. Actually, I went there.
If we're going to be honest, the next guy coming up, I think he's in battles with him as well. Depends how he comes around.
We'll get to that in a minute. Once we're done talking about quickening.
But
how many Highlander references can we get in this thing? As we got a couple more comments here. Connor says, then just keep him on tag till next year. Listen, Connor, we've talked about that. I'm not against that, except for you're going to cause issues potentially in the locker room and with him. So, Mickey Delaney says, hey, Drew. Hi, Rob. How are you both? Good. How you doing?
Doing great, Nick. How are you doing, bud?
Connor says 1-year contract for all these divas, and Henry Cavell is Highlander. Is he like he's not going to be?
He could be the bad guy. Who is?
No, he's too small. Have you seen how short he actually is? It's not just me being the 6'7" guy trying to be the jerk. Like he's really, really short.
I think you're making that up. I'm pretty sure he's close to 6 foot.
Nope. We're getting it height. I'm looking it up. Okay, now it says he's 6'1", but no, I don't think that's true. Like you watch him.
Have you met him in person?
No, I have not. But if you watch him in what's that, The Witcher or whatever, he's on Netflix. He looks really tiny in that one.
So you ever see this awesome movie? They actually made a trilogy. It's called Lord of the Rings. There's 4 main characters that.
Okay, I know what you're saying now. I just don't.
They weren't 4 foot tall, but they all look tiny on screen.
Let's go back to the Highlander talk.
Just saying, it's called movie magic.
And Dakota says no hi, and then he says something else. I'm not posting the comment because of what you just said, Dakota. We don't do that. But we said hi, Dakota. We said hi. We did say hi. We're never listen. We actually strive to get every single comment up and talked about there because we know that. First off, not everybody does, which is fine. Listen, if you don't want to comment along, you don't need to comment along. But we want to make it where everybody's kind of part of this as well. So, all right. Next up, Darnay Holmes, 24 years old still. I can't believe that because he's a 4th-round pick back in 2020. It feels like he's been on the roster for 30 years now. 24 years old, 5'1", 195 pounds, and we talked about this last season with him as well. But it looks like in the end, every single time we go into an offseason, they look to replace him. And yet he still hangs around. He's like that mold around your faucet you can't quite get rid of. You know what I'm talking about? Like
the whole
every yeah. Okay, you might as well. So, though I did see a thing, by the way, real quick on TikTok about wrapping paper towel and vinegar and just wrapping it around. That I haven't tried it yet. But you know what I'm talking about? Everybody has a little bit of mold. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
white wine vinegar.
White wine vinegar. As long as not waste actual wine.
Just saying, you don't put the apple cider vinegar. It's the white wine vinegar.
So, I think Darnay Holmes has reached the end of the road. Still, I can't help but know it's a natural. Oh yes, that's our first Boys to Men reference on the show. But he's got a cap hit of $2.9 million. We save 2.7 if we cut him.
That's the only thing that really makes me think this might be the end of the line. But like,
listen,
he seems to be that guy that hangs on all the time.
Yes.
And
what has our coach better than Sylvester Stallone in Cliffhanger? I'm just saying that's how good.
Well, he dropped that one person.
He did, but he held himself on. That's what.
Touche.
Yes.
But I mean, the cap hit itself is what makes me think of anything. Yeah.
And I think we know at this point what Darnay is. He's a low-end corner, and he's not. I'm not trying to say he's not a legitimate corner in this league. I think if we cut him, we'll find a home somewhere else. But he's like your 4th, 5th kind of guy. He's not the guy that you go, oh, this guy has the potential to grow into a starter. I think we realize that by now. He's not that guy. And if he's not going to be that guy, I'd rather cut him, get people to stay on this roster that had that chance. Even we talked about some of the guys like, Nick McLeod already and Aurier. These are guys who have higher ceilings than Darnay Holmes does. Some of the guys we're going to talk about in a moment as well also potentially have higher ceilings as well than him. So, again, $2.7 million savings. That's almost enough to sign the entire draft class. That's the scary part, even though we've already signed a couple of them. That's how much money we're talking about. $2.7 million could be us signing another player that we need at a position. Like, I don't know, a punter.
Yeah.
I had to do it. Screw the punter. Freaking
screw you.
He sucks. I don't know. I've never hated a punter so much in my life. I just do. But yeah, like I said, I think it's the end of the road for him there. Like I said, I think he'll pop up somewhere else in the league. I don't think it's a move we'll regret, and I think he'll probably have a couple more years in the league somewhere else as a bottom level corner that's towards the back end of a roster.
He'll go to the
That's
Saints.
what he is. He'll go to the Saints. He'll start.
Yeah. Just like the Eli Apple.
All righty. Next up, Trey Hawkins III. Pinky's out. 22 years old, 6'3", 195 pounds, 6th-round pick, number 209 in this draft here. Again, we talked about him a lot in the draft, so I don't think we need to go too much into him. Again, kind of like the Wish version of Banks, very, very athletically talented. Tape didn't necessarily show it. I think, though, in the end that we're going to go ahead and keep him, probably be a back-end guy in the roster. The only thing I can say that gives me a little bit of a pause is, do they try to sneak him onto the practice squad depending on how he looks in camp? Because we have so many bodies.
I wouldn't be surprised.
You take the risk of losing a guy, though. So if we drafted him in the 5th round, we still had multiple picks to go. They obviously saw something they liked in him. So I don't think they'd risk it personally, but I don't want to rule it out fully. I would say 90% chance he makes the active roster, 10% chance they try to sneak him onto the practice squad. And if they try to sneak him on the practice squad, it's because they didn't like something they saw when he was in camp.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, you drafted talent for a reason, but you also drafted him at 209.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wouldn't be surprised, but
209 talent.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a crapshoot at that point. So like, yeah, I shouldn't say it's a crapshoot. There's definitely a lot of talent that could be out there. Yeah, it's Tom Brady.
Oh my! Alrighty, next up, Jamon Green. Jamon. I can't help but see his name and not think of Michael Jackson. Jamon. Practice squad. I'm thinking for this guy because of where he comes from, undrafted free agent. We talked about him again during our rookie, our draft, review there, so to speak. 6'2", 186 pounds, so not a bad size, but he's very, very slow. You cannot teach speed. I think in the end, I wouldn't be shocked at all if they try to convert him into a corner. I mean, into a safety.
A safety, let's say.
Because let's convert the corner into a corner.
Yeah. Man, you want to go to the left side or right side? Maybe
no one backs baby into a corner.
I backpedal myself.
But yeah, like I said, he's so slow. Like I just, they obviously like something, or they wouldn't have given him some money to have him come in as an undrafted free agent. So that's the only thing I think of, is that they want to convert him over to a safety, or unless they think they're seeing something in his running form. I mean, what are we talking about? He's running like a 4.6, almost a 4.7. Like that's.
I think it was like 4.6. Yeah, I think it was was a 4.56 or something like that.
He's got the speed of Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah, but 100 less pounds to 150 less pounds.
I'm just saying, it's only thing I think of. So I'm going to say practice squad. They obviously gave him some money for a reason. That's where I think the reason is.
Yeah.
Our last corner. And I'll be the first one. I'll call myself out on this. When we were first doing this episode, I almost forgot all about him. He's not even listed on the draft chart on ESPN. For that, I should say also that Green wasn't listed either. Leonard Johnson, not to be confused with the Leonard Johnson we signed back in 2018 from the Bills. Leonard Johnson, corner from Duke. This is the guy we signed during the offseason that was originally going to be drafted last year, went undrafted because he tore his ACL. And before that, they said he's going to be about a 5th-round pick. So we ended up getting him as a free agent instead, 6 foot even, 194 pounds. Out of where else? Duke. I find it kind of funny. Listen, and if Dakota's still in the chat, he'll probably get a kick out of this. The Eagles are drafting Bulldogs,
Georgia,
Crimson Tide, and Crimson Tide in the offense.
Yeah,
we're signing Duke. We have like 4 or 5 Duke players. We have all the Duke players in the NFL.
All the educated men go to the New York Giants.
I don't know. Is Duke that kind of school?
I don't know.
It's not like it's Harvard or Stanford here. But yeah, again, a guy that was going to be, as he's posted in the comment, I'm not putting it up, Dakota. I'm not. We're going to say hi to you like we did before. We're not putting that comment up. So again, I see him as a guy that I think is going to go into practice squad. Again, we've talked about ACL injuries and what happens with them. It takes you a year to get back. This is a guy that's going to be a late round pick to begin with. I think he's somebody that, unless he really impresses in the if he really does impress in the preseason there and in the camp, we can always go ahead and look to go ahead and add him to the active roster. But we're going to lose somebody else in the process as well. But again, if you have talent, you put the best talent up there on the field. So we have to see what he is there at that point. So, all righty. Let's see. We got a couple more comments here before we head on out and mosey on down, because I got to go packing. I'm off to the Bahamas tomorrow after I go welcome to Miami for a day here. So let's see who we got. Let's see who we got here.
Miami.
Let's see here. Oh, we got Dakota says, "Paint me like one of your French girls, Drew." Oh my. Connor says, "I would have thought Superman Henry Cavill is at least 6'4" like Christopher Reeve. Even Brandon Youth was 6'2". Superman is shrinking. He must have gone to the cold ocean shrinkage. Brandon Youth, I mean." Mickey says, "Hi, Anthony, Big Blue and Seals. How are you?" So we got like people in the comment section even chit chatting. I love it. I love it. Listen, we're here all about this. Let's build a community, guys. Connor says, "Scottish Hammer! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! We'll get Drew. Kick you in the buttocks." Listen, if he kicks me in the buttocks, I'll tell you what. I know for sure that my buttocks will be going nowhere near a coffin corner. It's going to go right down the middle, no matter where he kicks my buttocks from. Okay. That's my problem with him. Learn to the damn corner, goddammit. My dad chimes in with
girl.
if Homestead. Oh my gosh. That's a very excellent drawing, Rob. My dad chimes in with, "If Holmes didn't get cut already, the regime must see something in him." I think it's just they see him as a body right now. I think it's emergency money they know they got in the bank. I think that's what it boils down to. But unless they think somebody might trade for him, I just don't. I don't know. I don't see it. Not for the money.
Yeah, I don't see a trade. Well,
Connor says, "You'll be singing soprano." I'm assuming this is after me getting kicked in the buttocks by the Scottish Hammer. He says, Connor says, "Don't bring up that garbage, Michael. Pedo. Hope he's burning in hell." Well, yeah. I'm separating the music. That's all I know. Nope. I can't put that up. I got in the habit there of putting these up. Dakota, you did it. You did it.
Duke of Earl.
Duke of Earl. Duke.
I
like how Connor is now doing our songs that we usually do whenever we start this thing. Dakota says, "I don't know. North Carolina supposedly has some of the best QB prospects. I don't get it." And then Connor says, "Roberto, don't lose your day job." Listen, he doesn't plan on losing his day job unless somebody wants to send us a decent sponsorship over at buymeacupofcoffee.com/2 Giant Goofballs. Maybe he can. Who knows who's watching?
Please. I have nice feet.
I have seen them. They are nice. All righty, guys.
More for 11.
So in the end, you figure you got most active rosters. You got 4 corners, 4 safeties, and then you'll throw in 2 other guys there. So you figure 5 or 6 corners overall in an active roster. So we had Adoree Jackson, Deontay Banks, Aaron Robinson, Cordell Flott, and we have Trey Hawkins. That's 5. We talked about Aurorier and Nick McLeod being possibles. If one of those makes it, that's 6.
I think
that's our 5 or 6 right there, guys.
Yeah, and Drew doesn't agree, but I think Holmes is still in the mix, but we'll see what happens with the cap. I think McLeod might be
my big thing is the cap. Like if he was a borderline starter and the cap was the issue at 2.7, then no biggie.
Yeah.
But considering where our cap is right now, and he's a borderline roster move, like he's on the bubble. I'm busting that bubble to get that 2.7 mil all day long. And also, all night long.
All night long.
All righty, guys. So we're gonna. We got a couple more comments here. Let's see here. As Connor says, Bermuda, Bahamas, come on, pretty mama. I'm not sure if he's calling me a pretty mama or if he's just singing now the song. I'm hoping,
or is he
the
telling
latter.
you to do something?
As Sean pops in as well with 2.7 is Chump Chain. What's up, Sean? 2.7. Listen,
Sean.
in the NFL world, it's definitely not a lot of money. But when you have just like $2 million to spare right now in cap space, and you can more than double it with one move on a bubble guy, that's where it becomes something. For a team that has, $8 to $10 million in cap space, you wouldn't even think of that as a consideration probably. But when you're as close to that cap as the New York Giants are, you're going to have to look at that because as my dad chimes in underneath that with, let's see who gets injured in training camp. Let's look at who gets injured in training camp because when somebody does get injured and we have to sign them, if it's not a corner, where's that money coming from? It's coming from Darnay Holmes' bank account.
Exactly. But also at the same time,
we're losing you, Rob. You're on delay.
When you talk about cutting the guy at 2.7, look at our cap last year.
All righty. Let's see if we get Rob back in here in the meantime. But we're about to head on out anyway there. So perfect time for your internet to leave as well.
Back?
All right. So again, guys, thank you very much for listening. We appreciate everybody listening. And tomorrow night, we have a special edition of Two Giant Goofballs, a very special edition because it is a Rob solo show. All Rob, all the time. For those who say I talk too much, they are 100% right, but not on tomorrow's show.
100%.
Yeah, you're on a delay. I don't know if you said 100% because
guys,
I talk too much or what to deal with, Rob.
10 minutes flat.
So we'll have to make sure that Rob has better internet here as he comes in and out. But yeah, like I said, we're going to have the schedule release episode coming up because in the end, we want to make sure you guys know exactly what's going on with the schedule. For those of you, especially that plan on going to games or doing trips for the games here, because all that's coming up. I mean, I know myself, I'm going to the Miami game. I know Rob was talking about maybe flying down to come do it as well. So if anybody's going to be in the Miami area for that game as well, whatever week that happens to be, you might have both Giant Goofballs there for it. Again, we'll also be going ahead live on Monday. Now, Mondays, what we did is we're actually, because I'm still being out of town, we already recorded Monday's episode yesterday, and we're going to have that up as a live premiere instead of doing a typical live episode. So by all means, on Monday, still go ahead and leave all the comments as we go live as well. Rob will be going through them probably, as will I at some point whenever I get home. Worst comes worst at that point. So you'll still get the response from us, and we still get to see everything that we see. And we like seeing comments. It makes it feel like people are enjoying the show. Look at all the comments today. We had a lot of people today. So again, guys, we want to thank you guys for coming out here and watching us live here. Again, we're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on Twitch. We're of course available afterwards on all those platforms as well. If you prefer listening, again, we're on every single audio podcast platform pretty much known to man. If we're not on the one that you're using to listen to podcasts, you got to step up your game. That's all it boils down to. You just are not using the right audio podcast platform. So you step it up. Go to Spotify, go to Apple Podcasts, go to Amazon, go to one of the big ones there because we're on every single one of those. And again, if you like both, because like me, I listen to podcasts in the car. I listen sometimes to other content creators on YouTube and all afterwards as well, while I'm like prepping for stuff that we're doing, or if I'm just chilling, got some extra minutes. Like and subscribe everywhere, because you'll get notifications whenever new stuff comes on. The best one, if you want to go live with the videos, is the YouTube, because you can hit the bell. The bell will give you the alert on your phone. Hell, I get alerted when we're going live as if I don't know. Hell, I'm on the freaking live show. Of course I know, goddammit. But like I said, great way to know we're going live there. Again, guys, keep in mind, we have changed up our schedule. So we're no longer be doing Fridays. We're going to be doing Thursdays now. So every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m., we're going to be going live. We're going to keep that schedule going up leading up until the preseason. Once the preseason hits, we'll start changing up the schedules again. We got to do the pre and post game for those games. And of course, once the season goes, obviously it'll be a totally different schedule again. But until the preseason starts up, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 9 p.m., guys. Hope to see some of y'all there again. If not all of you guys, come on in. Tell your friends as well. Do share. Remember, sharing is caring, and that's how we grow this show, is you guys letting everybody know that you listened or watched the show and enjoyed it. Or if you have any Giant fans that you're not friends with and you didn't enjoy it, share it to them too. What the hell? Go for it. So, what? God doesn't need a dam. He walks on water. Oh my God, Connor. Again, guys, thank you very much for listening and for watching. We appreciate you guys coming in today. We know you got plenty of options where to get your Giants news from. We appreciate you chose us. We'll see you guys again. Rob will see you tomorrow for the schedule release. We'll kind of see you Monday for our pre-recorded episode on assessing the defensive line after the free agency and all. We will see you again, both of us, 1 week from tonight for our safety episode as well. We start going over the safety group as well as a lot of changes there this offseason. So we'll see you then, varying degrees of see you when based on who you're talking to. Rob, we'll see you all tomorrow. So I turned my finger to the wrong direction again. It's mirrored, guys. It's weird when you're on this thing. Again, guys, tomorrow night, Rob will see you. Monday night, recorded episode. Wednesday, live show again with both of us. As always, Giant fans, go G-Man! Oh, Rob's really delayed. The go G-Man.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?
Oh, yeah.